Hello, I'm your host Stephen Nguyen, and welcome to the very first episode of Paranormal or Conspiracy. What you have just watched was my analysis of how the media can consume our time and our lives every day. And later on, I will tell you how the media can be misleading on telling us what to believe and what not to believe. The paranormal is a type of subject that's been plaguing people's minds for a while because we don't know the exact truth of the matter. For example, does Bigfoot actually exist? Is there life after death when it comes to ghosts? When it comes to UFOs, are there aliens from other planets? Or are they something else? The segments that you're about to watch, I will discuss how the media supposedly answer these questions. Within this documentary, I have conducted interviews of random individuals by just asking them, what is your knowledge and experience when it comes to this certain subject of the paranormal? I have conducted this interview just to answer the question, what does the average person thinks when it comes to this certain subject of the paranormal? At the end of this documentary, you will understand the meaning, what is paranormal and what is a conspiracy. And now we will begin our Bigfoot segment.
The question at hand is what is Bigfoot, or rather, does Bigfoot even exist? I don't know. I'm very uneducated on the matter. I've never looked into Bigfoot sightings myself. I would just run into them randomly on social media like Reddit or Facebook and just hear about random stories and see random pictures. Social media is not a credible source, so for obvious reasons, I take it all very lightly. I've never done research myself either, so I can't give you an educated answer. But from what I've seen and my common sense, I guess, just tells me that it's just very unlikely that Bigfoot exists. We have a lot of programs out there, a lot of companies, a lot of organizations that are putting cameras out in the wild to record animals in their natural habitat. And these cameras run for days. And they're hooked up to batteries that just go and go and go and go and record all night. We can see cheetahs in their natural habitat playing with the young and gorillas, and you would think Bigfoot would be spotted on one of these cameras in the wild. I mean, they're recording all night, 24/7. So you would think Bigfoot would have been sighted by now.
What you are looking at right now is the most infamous Bigfoot sighting ever recorded, which was filmed near the Klamath River in Northern California in 1967. The two horse riders who recorded the footage were Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin. During the time of filming, Patterson was the one holding the camera, and Gimlin was behind Patterson, who had a rifle pointing at the creature, just in case it started to charge at them. Gimlin, who is turning 80 years old this year, still maintains to this day that the footage is real. Roger Patterson passed away in 1972 from cancer. Until the very end of his life, he also maintains that the footage is real. We now know that the Patterson and Gimlin film appears to be authentic because in the middle of the 20th century, it's really difficult to manipulate any piece of video footage during that time. Then there's a theory that it might be someone in a gorilla costume fooling the public. In the 21st century, as technology progresses, there are a lot of tools, especially software-wise, such as Adobe After Effects and Blender, to create and fabricate photography or video. There are a lot of YouTube channels out there that shows us recent sightings of Bigfoot. But the question is, are they authentic or just fabrication to gain notoriety from the public?
And I don't want to be the person to give a definite answer and say, no, Bigfoot does not exist. I am 100% certain. Because you can never be 100% certain. We are discovering new living things all the time. A lot of them being microbial for obvious reasons because we can't see them with the human eye. We can only see those living things with the microscope. But you don't need a microscope to see the Bigfoot. And why are all the pictures taken of the Bigfoot or video footage of the Bigfoot? The quality's so poor. I guess what I'm trying to say is, does the Bigfoot exist? I mean, honestly, chance of running into a Bigfoot when I go camping are probably 0.00001%, and I don't even know where the Bigfoot is supposed to exist geographically.
The first reported sighting of a UFO in history dates back as early as 1400 BC, where the pharaoh of Egypt during that time reported to his guards seeing fairy discs in the sky. In the modern era, the first sighting dates back to 1947, where American aviator Kenneth Arnold reported to have seen 9 unusual objects in the sky. This sighting marks the beginning of the modern UFO era.
They looked something like a pie plate that was cut in half with a sort of a convex triangle in the rear, kind of weaving and going at a terrific speed.
I've been asked a question, what are UFOs? What do I know about it? I do know that they stand for unidentified flying object. I just saw something flying, but that was a bird or a duck. And I'm close to NASA, which they study about space. I do know that if something is flying in the sky, we can't identify it as a human species. We think it's from outer space. It's like, how did it get up there? Humans are like, what? And when we don't understand things, sometimes we fear it. So, aliens maybe aliens are here. We don't know.
UFO enthusiasts knows about the Roswell, New Mexico UFO crash of '47. The authorities announced to the public that the crash was just a down weather balloon, but skeptics believe otherwise. Most of the general public at that time believed that it was just a cover-up by the government to hide the truth from everyone. To this day, no one knows exactly what happened at Roswell, but if there was a cover-up, why hide it from the public? There are plenty of theories to UFOs, such as aliens, beings from other dimensions, or time travelers. The entire UFO phenomena is oblivious to everyone because we don't know the exact truth about these flying discs. Psychologically, when a certain subject is unknown or not fully understandable to a person, for example, the paranormal, we intend to believe what is being told to us right away because we don't know any knowledge on that certain subject. By doing our own thorough research, maybe it will help us answer the questions on the subjects that have been plaguing our minds for a while. Ghosts, spirits, shadow people. However you want to describe these transparent beings are a subject of controversy throughout history, especially in religious cultures. These transparent beings are believed to be the soul of a dead person. This subject is controversial towards the Christian religion because within the Bible it states that when someone dies, they either go to heaven or hell. Therefore, it contradicts the belief of spirits roaming around our world. If you ask me, I'm a skeptic when it comes to ghosts, but I don't want to rule out the possibility that these entities exist.
True story. When we were young, we used to live in a village where there were playful elves living in the same neighborhood. They said they were spirits. One day, my friend's brother and I decided to play hide and seek before sunset. My brother was supposed to be it, and he was wearing black shorts and white shirt. My friends and I were hiding for a while, and we were wondering where my brother was. Then somebody started throwing rocks on us, and then we looked on a ladder, and it was my brother. But something was weird. He was wearing the purple shorts that he was wearing yesterday. And his ears were longer, with a devilish smile. Then we realized somebody was copying my brother.
As I mentioned in my Bigfoot segment, there are a lot of videos uploaded on YouTube on recent sightings of this creature and other paranormals, but after doing a thorough research, ghosts can be added to that list as well. There are a lot of ghost hunters out there going on these expeditions to find these spirits, such as exploring abandoned houses to abandoned site wars that have a legend where people have died and never left. These spirit catchers have tried their best to capture the ghost footage they have been longing to find. Once these ghost hunters found enough evidence and then upload it to the internet, is it authentic footage or just a fragment of After Effects and Photoshop, which I have mentioned in my UFO segment? In order to know the truth, maybe we should step outside our homes and explore. But I'm not saying to go to the abandoned buildings to find the footage that we desire, but for further research purposes. If the internet is not enough research, then maybe going to a library, a zoo, or a nature preserves will probably help us find the truth that we want to find. What I mean by the truth is that every individual wants to find the truth in their own personal way. For example, when there are UFOs in the sky, maybe the individual just wants to know if the UFOs are just test flight planes from the military and that's it. But others just don't accept that notion. Therefore, they go deeper in their research to see if the UFOs are more than just test flight planes. In conclusion, you know the history of each individual paranormal segment that you have just watched. Therefore, you know why they are considered paranormal. You have also been informed that the media have their own theory of what the paranormal is about. It's either for notoriety or for financial gain, but some consider it as a conspiracy. If you want to know the truth in your own personal way, I suggest doing your own research other than looking something up on social media from your cell phone to find it. But then again, it's totally up to you how you want to seek the truth for yourself. Thanks for watching, and tune in next week for another episode of Paranormal or Conspiracy.